Welcome to the Audiofails web show, the show where I take other people's installs, make fun of them, tear them apart, and do them right. My name is Cabe Sipes. I'm best known as the fabricator from MTV's Pimp My Ride and OLN's Rock the Boat. Now I'm the owner of Custom Audio Reimagined here in Rossville, Indiana. Now what I'm going to do over the winter is I've created this new web show, Audiofails. I'm going to tear apart cars like the truck behind me. I'm going to make fun of them, and then I'm going to do it correctly.
Coming from Atlanta all the way to Indiana with cars by Cabe Sipes, I'm making damn right. On stages, popping collars, I'm making a bigger dollar when the engine.
Now, what you've stumbled across here in your YouTube rabbit hole that you've went down is my web show, Audiofails. What this is I take vehicles that people have submitted to me that have been jacked up, messed up by a shop, an uncle, a cousin, a shade tree installer, whoever. But they have screwed the car up to the point where it's laughable. I take the vehicle, I show you everything I find, we make fun of it. We never call you guys out by name though, so don't be scared if you did the job. And then we're gonna fix it. Now, behind me, we have a GMC truck. I have not looked at it yet, so I have not seen really what's wrong with this truck. I saw one thing and I saw a couple pictures, but there's one thing alone that made me say, cool, I'll take it on. So we're gonna get into this truck together, and whatever I find is the first time I've seen it, so just be aware that I do cuss, I will say bad words, so if you have kids in the room or you don't want them to watch this, I'm sorry. Now the layout of the show, this is how it's gonna work. We're gonna work from front to back. We're gonna start under the hood, we're gonna see what's going on under there, we're gonna go into the cab, we're gonna look under the dash, we're gonna look behind the seats, we're gonna look under the truck. We're gonna see anywhere where we can find something fucked up. But I do wanna promise you one thing, I will never fake it. None of these cars have been set up. None of these cars have came to me beforehand and we've done anything. And if anybody ever submits a car, which I've already had a few, that have purposely jacked up the car hoping that they get on the show, I will not use those cars. I did Pimp My Ride for years. I know what a fake submission is. We saw it all the time. Okay, so I just popped the hood. I have not looked into it at all. All I did was set up my camera and put my light in, all right? Now right off the bat, after popping the hood, I can tell I have something going on here because there's this wire here and it's solid core home wiring and it has a wire nut on it. I don't know if this was hooked up to anything, but what the fuck? Okay, this is home wiring, all right? This isn't stranded, this is like Romex. This is what you wire your house with. And that's a wire nut that goes on a house also. Oh, I've got two lines. What the fuck is this? Okay, here we got some actual 12-volt wire with a wire nut on it. This looks like it was an amp line. Oh, this is glorious. It's all running into the fender. This is a very common thing that shade tree installers will do because they don't know how to go through the firewall because they just get scared. They see it and they don't know how they're going to make it. So what they do is they run the wire through the fender and then they go down into where the door jamb is. So when you open the door, you'll see all the wiring coming into the car. Okay, so I'm short. I'm only 5'9". This truck's lifted, big ass tires. I can't even reach in there to see what's going on. So I'm gonna have to go get my little trusty step stool. Okay, so I'm really not sure what I'm looking at, but it looks like that's a burn. Like the plastic has been burned. It's never good to find burned. I had to get the camera in my hand, so I'm sorry if it's shaky and move a light, but this is what I saw when I was leaning in. There's the car battery, and then we have a pile of wire nuts. Whoo! This is a good one. And then over here, there's that awesome connection there. I'm not sure what that goes to, but I do notice there's no fusing. Oh, and then we found some, here's a ground. And then I have a mysterious green wire running. And then it disappears behind the plastic there going down towards the radiator. I'm starting to question this show. This is the first truck I've gotten. This is the first episode. And I've already come across home wiring and wire nuts. And I have no idea what I'm getting into. This is gonna go all bad, I can already tell. And as I suspected, here is the inside of the vehicle with the door open. noticed all the glorious wire runs. I count 1, 2. There's some trailer wiring in here. One of those 4 conductor leads. 5. Yeah, there's a lot of wire running through this door jamb. I have no idea what any of this shit goes to, but it all seems to tuck behind the dash here. We got some wire going in the boot here. We've got the gauge pods, so I'm assuming some of those are to power these gauge pods. He has an aftermarket JVC radio, which we'll be yanking out and checking out that wiring. Seems like I've got some wiring hanging down from the dash there. We got a brake controller. This is the inside of the door jamb. That's so bad. Oh, what's this? Oh, we got switches. A rocker switch there, and then, oh hell yes, this must be the important switch. Look, the F16 style switch. Got to flip that up. Don't want to accidentally hit the switch. Now, I guess I could call the customer and ask him what all this shit does, but what would be the fun in that, right? That kind of defeats the whole purpose. My job is to get into the mind of whatever fool put this in. And if the guy watching this is that fool, I'm not making fun of you, man. I'm just saying stop doing what you're doing and you gotta figure out a better way. So now it's time to look behind the seats and under the truck. And behind the seat we have apparently an amplifier used to be in here. So there's the power wire that is up under the hood. Got another wire nut on this end. We got a ground wire with a wire nut on it. RCA's, the smallest remote wire gauge in the world. Oh, we got another. Oh shit, this is coming from under the truck. Okay, so we're under the truck. Here is the wires that I found going into the truck. Seems to be 2 leads. Wadded up loom. More connections with wire nuts. How many fucking splices are you gonna put in a line? There's another wire that's leading even farther back. So now we need to follow that and figure out what the hell that actually is. Okay, so we followed the line and it comes back here and goes nowhere. It's just a dead connector. I was excited about doing this web show. I thought it would give me something to do. I looked forward to it, I really did. This first car is already making me question that. This is like an installer's nightmare, man. This is rough. This is a bad one. I got a good one for the first episode, I guess. So, this truck's awesome. Now that we've seen pretty much what we're gonna deal with, you know it's gonna get way worse. When I start pulling off dash panels, oh, this is gonna get so much worse. Right now, we're just scratching the surface, just seeing the shit on top. When we pull off the dash, pull out that radio and the under dash, this is gonna get just downright fucking scary. But I got a job to do now. Next step is rip out all this old shit, figure out where it's going, replace it all with new wiring. So that means it's time for time lapse. What this trailer wiring is going to is they have put like camper, like trailer style, parking lights that go on the side, marker lights, and they've mounted them behind the grill, I guess for some cool like amber light effect. I'm not sure, but that's what some of that wiring is. I also noticed he has aftermarket lights with the halo like the little angel eyes around the headlight. And on this one it works, on this one it doesn't. So I'll be pulling these headlights out to kind of figure out what kind of wiring has been going on there. This is more than just an audio fail, this is just an all-around fucked up electrical fail. Okay, so we've got the front of the truck tore apart. The headlights are aftermarket headlights. They are, looks like they have some kind of like angel eyes or halo to them. The wiring to the halos is horrible. It's pretty bad. That's what a lot of this wiring was. So I've got the headlights pulled. We're gonna have to rewire these. These marker lights that they've got behind the grill, I mean, I don't want to take them out, so obviously he likes them or something. So these are gonna have to be rewired properly. So we're just gonna start up here and just work our way through the truck. So we've got the front end back on. We've got the lights back in. All the wiring's been rewired. I've got new dedicated power and ground lines running for the angel eyes or the halos, whatever you want to call them, in the headlights. Also for the marker lights that he has mounted behind the grill, new dedicated line. We're going to run that all over here to the fuse box, put an actual fuse to add a circuit so it's properly fused and properly wired into the fuse box. Once that's done, this is complete. That's all rewired and fixed. Has nothing to do with audio, but I can't let it leave the shop with that shit that was in there. So what I've done is I've run all new wiring. I've got new power here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put an adder circuit here at the fuse box and actually give it a fuse. After this, we can move on to actually getting rid of this shit that's running through the door jams. You may notice I put on a male and female quick disconnect insulated connector here. And you may be asking, why doesn't Cabe solder that? Why doesn't Cabe use a butt connector? Why? Everybody has their own way of doing wiring. I like to do anything that's accessory related on the outside of the vehicle with these kind of connectors. The reason why is depending on what state you're in, it may be illegal. This is a big issue. I've ran into it. So you have custom, halo or angel eye lights on the front. You've got anything on the outside of the vehicle that's a light can cause you to get in deep shit with the cops. So if you go into Illinois or another state and a cop pulls you over and says, that's illegal, they're not gonna let you drive. They don't just give you a ticket and say, cool, have a good day. Your car has been deemed illegal to drive on the road, so you're gonna be on foot, dude, and you're gonna get your stuff towed, so that sucks. So what I like to do is something like this. So that way if a cop pulls you over and says, hey, amber lights in the front of the car are not legal, like he has in the grill. Cool, officer, unplug that, they're dead. Angel eyes are dead, amber lights are dead, anything aftermarket lighting on the front is dead. He can be on his way, the cop will be happy, you won't catch a ticket, and you won't get your car towed. So that's why I do things like that when it comes to outside light accessory. Now let's move on to getting this tested, and then we'll move into the inside. So this is gonna be pretty rough to film. I don't think it's possible. There's not enough room for my big fat ass to be sitting down here doing this and have the camera mounted to see anything. I don't even want a time lapse because all you're gonna see is this. My bald head really fast, so that's not gonna be too fucking exciting either. But as you can see behind me, beautiful wiring running through the door jamb. I'm going to yank all this shit out. It's all disconnected, so I'm literally just gonna pull it all from the engine compartment into here. Then I'm gonna crawl underneath the dash, try to figure out what's going where, and then we'll come up with a game plan of how to proceed and how to fix it. We have made it into the cab of this vehicle. Words can't really describe how bad this truck is. I mean, it's bad. It's to the point where I would think I faked it, or I would think someone did it on purpose, but this vehicle was like this before I ever even announced I was gonna do a show, so this is legit, man. I mean, this is like what we really run into. These are the kind of cars that installers have to deal with. So I actually called the customer. This switch does nothing. This switch turns on his underbody lights as far as in the cab. Apparently there's blue LEDs down there. They don't work anymore. So one of these lines that I've cut must have been a feed line for that. Don't know, man. Probably do a time lapse of me down here for the next 2 hours. Followed this like trailer wiring. It's like, that goes for like a trailer. I don't know what I'm looking at. They were tapping off of the brake controller to do something else. Look at this big bundle of dog shit running under here that I've got to... The biggest problem is trying to figure out what all this stuff did. Under dash is off. It didn't get much better, folks. I mean, come on. What the fuck? So what I'm understanding here is all that red and bullshit wiring down there and all that crap, all that is for these simple ass stick-on little lights he has here. That's it. And they all ran here to that F16 switch that's in the dash. And all of it was for those lights. It looks like there's 3 little LEDs. I'm not sure what the point is of those mounted there. There's another over there. And then we've got the radio, which honestly isn't bad and was done by Best Buy. Somebody used ADA circuits here in the fuse panel, which is correct. So we're gonna cut all this shit out. It's all getting cut out and trashed. Rewire the lights, run them to the switch properly. Then we're gonna rerun the power wire and everything through the sill, get it all back here so that we can install our Cadence powered subwoofer. How much nicer does that look? Nothing in the door jamb. Everything's tidy at the fuse panel now. Running underneath here. Got a couple wires to strap up, but other than that, it is so much nicer than what it was. Now we have a switch here that actually looks like it belongs. Flip the switch. Lighting comes on. On to the next step, which is audio. You know the show is supposed to be called Audiofails, right? Not fucked up lighting. So now let's get to the actual audio portion of this fucking thing. Now, the next order of business is to run the power wire from the battery through the firewall, get it done clean with a grommet. Battery connection, nice and tidy. Lines running through. Got a GM stud adapter on there. Under the hood, we are officially finished. Audio is done as far as the wiring. Wiring has been fixed, it's been ran. Go ahead and check it out right here. We got the amp wiring right there, all running down the side. So now it's time to put the trim back in. As I was walking away from the truck, I happened to notice these. Some aftermarket red brake light bars. The fuck those are, man. So now I'm gonna pull the trim back up and I have to identify what the hell's going on and get those things. I'm assuming they're supposed to come on with parking lights and be red, like markers. And then I bet when you hit the brakes, they light up. Awesome. So let's tear everything we put back together. Whee! Looks so pretty too. Let's take it all apart and figure this shit out. Oh, we did it! Now, I could lie to you and tell you this is the same day, but it's not. I had to wait on the Cadence subwoofer to get delivered. So, truck is back in the shop. It's been a couple days since we finished up all the wiring. I assumed you guys would catch on somehow, so there's no point trying to make it look like it's the same day. But let's go ahead and check out what Cadence has sent. This is what we're going to be putting behind that seat. Cadence, thank you very much for this powered truck box. It's specs on it real quick. Enclosure type, active sealed. Woofer is a single 12-inch 4-ohm subwoofer, max power, 250 watts to 500 peak. Frequency response, 35 Hz to 500 Hz. Sensitivity, 92 dB, 1 watt, 1 meter. Right off the bat, when you open the box, it has cadence right there, stitched at the top. It's the little things like that that I appreciate from companies, because they didn't need to do that. I mean, that obviously added cost to the product, but it just looks cool. It's nice looking, looks like you gave a shit. So, oh, this is actually really cool. So, not only does it say cadence stitched on top, it has flash stitch and it's raised embroidery. It's actually really cool. And then it says digital power, and it has a nice grill. This is actually legit. This is way nicer than most truck boxes. So, all the wiring isn't totally done. Got to run the bass knob. I couldn't do that before because I didn't know what line they use. Some people use 3.5mm jacks, some people use Cat 5 cables, some companies. So I didn't know, and I'm glad I didn't, because this one has 3.5 on one end and Cat 5 on the other. So I would have been wrong. There she is, all wired up, nice and clean. Wiring is nice and tight. Everything's good to go. Now just fire it up, get it tuned in, and we are done with the restoration of this nightmare Audiofails / lighting fuck up.
Is that a timetable? Well, get on it.
It is done. The first episode of the Audiofails is finished. The truck is finished. The Cadence subwoofer actually sounds really good. It's very impressive. The guy's stereo is just hands down 1,000 times better. But not only that, the wiring is finally on point. Everything in this truck now has been wired correctly. That's aftermarket, his lighting, his stereo. We're not gonna have to worry about him catching on fire or being on the side of the road burning up. I appreciate everybody watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I will make things better if I have more viewers, get better lighting, just do a little bit better, more production value. But it's hard to work, stop, film, do the best I can. Hope you all enjoyed it. This truck came out great. First Audiofails episode in the books. Now the only thing to do, slap the old custom audio Reimagined sticker on the back window and kick this thing out of the shop. I'm Cave Sipes. Thanks for watching.